same thing with you. You go from in less than 24 months, right? 36 months, less than 3 years, being up north, right? Kicking rocks with your cousin, they're doing that thing, right? They're playing, in your yard here in the city. They're playing middle school ball to CWL ball to at this big time prestigious high school in less than just barely 2 years, right? And in that journey, you meet Coach Mack, who's legendary for us, and one day we'll have him on this, and people will learn that. And Coach Don Lippy's legendary. He's now Coach St. Joe's. Is Coach Lippy still St. Joe's, Lee?
He's still the St. Joe's, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's breaking records in California high school. It's world-class high school coach, phenomenal coach, right? Impeccable reputation. And he's a guy coming to get you in the SI.
Yeah. He basically, through John Greenberg, got a hold of Coach Lippy.
Yeah.
I was playing for Big Al at the time, so there's so many influential people. It's like they all piece together. It's just hard to put everybody in there. But long story short, I went to SI's campus, met Coach Lippy for the first time, and Coach Lippy's a Hall of Famer. He might have the most wins in California, 4 state championships. He's started out. He's from Daly City, so he started out at St. Pat's in Vallejo. Then he went from St. Pat's to Skyline in Oakland. So he went, this is in like the 80s, late 90s, where he's coaching in Oakland. So, he was used to picking kids up who had no ride or, were in kind of situations where they needed a lot of help. So Coach Lippy was just phenomenal. He doesn't see black, white, purple, yellow. Like, black kids can play for him, white kids, Asian. He sees no color boundaries. So I just happened to get lucky to have him in my life. I actually got kicked out of 8th grade when I was at Martin Luther King. I had like a rap sheet of shooting dice, gambling. They had these little cigarette things.
Just a mere observation. You adapted pretty quick in the city. I noticed that.
So I had.
It take you long. Yeah. Got it, man. You shooting dice.
That was
man. Hey, sink or swim.
Yeah, math class.
So, sink or swim. So I got kicked out of 8th grade, right? So I already had a rap sheet as far as that goes. So just Coach Lippy. Once I ended up getting into the school, because I got into school in like late June, that's like unheard of. The AD there was Leo LaRocca. He was there at the time. He was phenomenal. He helped me my whole 4 years there. He was great. But Coach Lippy was one that picked me up every day. I was living on Page Street at the time. Coach Lippy lived in Oakland. He would take a left on Masonic. Take that right on Page. Beep beep. He'd be out there with his little notebook and his little Nissan stick shift, listen to probably KNBR or KQED. He was a history teacher, right? He was a teacher, which kind of what you were talking about with Coach Mack. He had dealt with kids like me before, so it was a perfect fit. For like a year and a half, he picked me up every day. It was a big culture shock to me. No one from my middle school went to SI.
Not
one person.
Mm-hmm.
There was one girl. She was in my class. She went to Aptus Middle School. But there was no one from my middle school that went to SI. So it was a super big culture shock for me. Academically, I struggled.
What was it like?
So Coach Lippy was kind of that.
Yeah. So you go from public middle school to now big time private high school. And thank God you got Coach Lippy, right? What was that like? I mean, when you say culture shock, what was it? I mean,
I
guess 24 months ago, you're up north.
Yeah, when I was in the 7th grade, I think my 7th period class, I went to like one time the whole year, right? So for whatever reason, that's the whole story behind why I didn't go to that class, but probably was English. So when I got to SI, like academically, I was not prepared. I didn't get a 2.0 my freshman year. But I'm kind of going forward.
That's all right.
We'll stick with the basketball because that's the best part. But I struggled academically, so I was working out with varsity in the preseason. My grades came out, and then the administration say, "Hey, he's struggling. He has a 1.4. He can't work out with you guys right now. He'll have to start out on the JVs." can't be on varsity. So they got me some help, and I had some people surrounding me that helped me a lot my freshman year, sophomore year, all the way through. So it was a struggle academically, but I ended up, kind of figuring it out. So
I think that that's important because you're an athlete by craft and training, by passion, but you hadn't had that type of academic work. So at least you get the SI. They had the wherewithal. At least it sounds like in Coach Lippy to get you help that you had never had before. So if you're a dude watching this, right, you realize, hey, you don't give up. You just ideally have people around you, and that's their job. Ideally, to help young people learn and adapt to their environment and be able to get educated and find ways to learn. Right? You can learn in a basketball court. You can learn in the classroom.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Definitely. I mean, my mind is kind of going right now because when I was at SI, there was a lot of kids there that I seen that were like me. Right, you got to have the resources to help them.
Yeah.
Because if I wouldn't have the resources, or someone like Coach Lippy and the resources, I would have never made it through. So while I was there, it kind of went full circle, and I was able to see it as an adult and see kids who could be like me if they have the right support.
Yeah.
Right. Because I could have went the other direction.
Yeah.
I got stories.
One bus ride.
Yeah, one bus ride, or my best friend I used to hang out with had a master key to Toyota Celicas, and we used to joyride him. He gets up in the morning. I asked him to drive me home. He says no. I catch the bus. He gets in the car. He gets arrested. He goes to the log cabin, and he's doing well now. But that's just kind of how it goes. When my